Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Justin Masterson Show. We're glad that you're all here. Of course, I'm always messing around with something, and it's not just me hanging out, but we got my guy, Zappo.
What's up, party people? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Ooh, it is a happy Tuesday. It's a wonderful one. Man. KEVI got his new piece out, right? Because we're just outside. And we were outside today for a little baseball.
Is that time of year?
It is that time of year.
You know it's that time of year.
Oh, it's that time of year, without a doubt. You see us outside doing the things that we need to do. But right now, we're not outside. We are inside.
Well, I see you sporting the Fishers gear. So fill the audience in. 2 weeks ago, Fishers, you're wearing Fishers baseball, but Fishers basketball was on a roll. What's the latest?
I mean, we were talking about it. Fishers were going to play in semi-state for basketball. They had 2 games. One's against, they had 2 games because they won both games. First game was against Crown Point, and they beat them very well. It was nice. It was good. I was able to make it up there with the kiddos. It was up in Elkhart.
Oh, so Elkhart, shout out.
We made the drive, and me and the kiddos, and we're able to see them beat Fort Wayne. And that was a pretty good game at first, and then they kind of took it to them and let them know what was up so that they could go to the state finals.
Oh, daddy. Okay, so B-ball is without you, and you're not coaching.
Okay.
Just to remind everybody.
I actually thought about that, and this is what it was. So, unlike my father, Mark Masterson, Pastor Marks, he was pastoring a church, and things weren't growing, whatnot. So he was trying to figure out maybe I'm the problem. Yeah. And so he left, and the church crumbled. So it turns out he was not the problem. Okay. He was what was holding it up. And then here am I, where I'm like, man, I'm trying to help these guys out, do great things, move in the right direction. And then I wanted a little family time. So I'm like, you know what? I'll leave. And it didn't crumble. They went the opposite and are going to the state finals without me.
Well.
So I guess
it's good.
Yeah.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Well, must have been me. I must have been the problem.
I mean, it's not like they were bad when you were there.
No, they weren't bad. I mean, they're setting records and wins. They just had never won a sectional in the time that I was there, which is 4 years. Other people before me had been there longer, and they still hadn't won a sectional with them either. But I'm the only person that left the staff.
Well,
all the rest of them are the same. Now, we could say this. No, I'm not going to go that route. Never
March 30th, right?
That would be hating on somebody else, and I don't want to hate on somebody else.
No, we don't do that.
No, I'm just going to wear myself out.
We're here to inspire others, not hate on.
Yes, inspire, equip. That's it. You keep telling me that. But I will say I got the baseball, my baseball BP top on. Where's that at? There we go. Got the nice Tiger hat on. We had our first games, JV Red and our varsity, which JV Red is like JV, but we don't really have a freshman team, so it's JV Silver is the way that it works, which some worlds might see it as like a C team, whatever, just for those who may not know our Indiana world. But our JV Red and varsity had their first games of the season yesterday, and both were victorious. And I will give a little shout-out to old Reed Garber. Oh, he don't lose. Oh. I mean, he didn't get the win, but he didn't lose. And he's like, I don't know, he's JV Red, pitcher for them. I don't know if he's undefeated, but he's pretty close.
Is that kind of like a tie in soccer, football?
Well, I mean, he threw 1 inning, I think, the first inning. And so he...
Right. You're not going to get a win off of that.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I think Mr. Disler got that.
Hey, it's a team sport. All right?
It is a team sport. And our guys, we had a lot of great guys on our staff. You know, had the big boy, had some professional scouts at the game.
You were there?
Well, I was there. I was a former professional player.
Oh, okay.
They're professional scouts, which means they probably didn't play, but they like watching other people.
We're not going to stereotype.
They think
nope. Not going to stereotype.
No, we're not going to stereotype.
We're here to entertain, but not stereotype.
I don't think they're watching this though. And even if someone could chop this up and be like, "See,
Yeah.
Hi. Well, it's just me again. I'm the problem. I will give a shout out.
Well,
oh, sorry. Keep going. What?
no, I was. There's so much to go over. We've got T-shirts. We also, but before we get to any of that stuff, we got a great guest. But it's you, and that's where I'm going. It was your birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was my birthday.
So I mean, this would be on your birthday if we were doing it when we wanted, but we're doing Tuesdays so people can get in the rhythm of.
Right. Yeah.
So you are.
was my birthday.
We got to celebrate. Okay, I don't know if you got that in the bumper music, but you're out of this world.
I'm out of this world.
You're out of this world, and if you reach over in that little bag right here, and you get that little pack on the top,
this bag.
Yeah, that's right. I got a little something for you because
you got me a little something right here.
Mm-hmm. Live on the air. He has no idea.
No.
You gotta you gotta lift it up for the audience to see.
I am from out of this world,
and you've got astronaut bananas.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
He won't even focus on it. There we go.
Yeah, I mean you're kind of spacey, and
you ain't lying. We can ask the guest when he comes on here pretty soon. Not yet, though. Don't get too excited there.
Anyway, happy birthday. Good luck catching me.
Hey, I'm trying.
Not going to happen.
39 years young. We're making our way there. Maybe eventually we will get there.
That's nice.
I mean, it took me a second.
Happy birthday.
And it's just losing viewers by the second.
That's tough.
That's my goal. See how many we can lose. You know, everyone else is trying to get subscribers. I'm trying to get rid of subscribers.
Well, there's 9 people watching currently, and we have to do this buffer so we can really ramp it up before our guest comes on and try to get as many viewers as possible.
Let them all get on here.
Right.
So I'll give you this. We got some shout outs.
Okay.
The first one's on the to get on the Instagram and to like it. We got the Loshs. I just lumped them together because they get first every time. Cheaters. But I appreciate that, Avery, that you were first, and the only reason your mom was second is because you told her that you were first, and then maybe use some poor language to let her know that you were better than her. But we'll forgive you for that. But the other, in third place, my guy KYLE FELLER.
Oh.
You know KYLE FELLER, Zappo?
I do remember him.
Okay, KYLE FELLER happened to be my second semester roommate. He was one of the 3 fifth-year seniors that hung out with me my freshman year in the dorm, and he is a great friend. He is from Indiana, and he is a huge Reds fan, which counteracts who our guest loves, but that's okay. And he is, if you didn't know, he's hitting up the Grateful Dead concert at the Sphere out in Vegas. I think that's pretty soon. And he would be a jerk if it wasn't for his lovely bride, Tracy, who I enjoy greatly. And he's got 2 boys, Jordy and Blaine. Did you want the whole bio?
You have a lot of information.
Yeah, I just wanted to go through all the things.
That's
because I appreciate KYLE FELLER. He would stay up all night so that he could watch the European League football, soccer for you.
I can appreciate that now.
Yeah, maybe I can appreciate that now. I mean, you're playing that now. But also, I'll give you, don't forget, we got 2 nonprofits we love working with. One sponsors or brought to you, or the show is brought to you by PHARE Warrior, trying to connect men to Jesus. And they got, what do they got? They have Fight Club program going on right now.
I thought you were going to say something else cool.
Man, I keep looking at.
I know you're multitasking. I'll give the Fight Club pitch. Fight Club in the neighborhood near you.
And then we got Wayfinders, which helping everyday leaders move into the future and make the greatest impact. They'll help you activate your purpose, figure it out. If you don't know, if you're stuck wherever, check it out. Check the links in the show notes and see if they may be helpful. Either one of those. If you're a dude and you're looking for something great, go check it out. You don't have to love Jesus, but we talk about Jesus in it. And Wayfinders, same thing. You don't have to love Jesus, but they will help you figure some things out, whether you're an individual, you got some cohorts going on, or if you're business and other things, nonprofit, doing some great things. They'll get you going. Woo!
Got to pay the bills.
Got to pay the bills. Somebody's paying the bills. But without further ado, it is my pleasure and honor to bring in Mr. Craig Huls.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, not a whole lot. What's going on with you? Can you hear what's playing?
I can't.
Oh, man. I'm playing it really loud. For the people who are listening, not for you, but the people who are listening, it is Hail to the Orange, Hail to the Blue, Hail Alma Mater, ever so true, so true. Illinois, victory. Victory, victory,
Love
victory. I see you're sporting your Illini gear right there, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, big weekend ahead for them, but be a tough one.
Iowa State, tough. I know nothing about basketball. Are they good?
They're above average. Yeah.
I mean,
be a tough game, really good defensive team. And then get lucky enough to get past that one, you get the good old juggernaut of UConn. So,
yeah.
Oh, man. That's there's a tough road for the Illini right here. But you are – I mean, you're hardcore. I'll be honest. You know, I wanted to wait till after the game until I, was going to ask you to be on the show because if things hadn't gone well, I did not want to have you on the show. I mean, we'd been.
I mean, I'm an Illinois fan even in football season, so if I can make it through that, I could make it through the first weekend in the NCAA tournament loss. That's
true. You ain't lying about that. But I had to make sure though, and things worked out. They're in a good spot. They're playing again soon, right?
Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Be a late one.
Ooh, that will be a late one. And where will you be going on Thursday?
Thursday, I will be down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee with Fishers baseball.
Oh, look at that.
A little camaraderie spring break trip for the boys, and it's a good trip. Get the season kicked off and then come back and right into conference. So we're excited to get down there.
Oh, it's going to be a great time. And did I say that he's the pitching coach?
No, you did not. I was wondering what sport and position.
I just got so excited about having him on.
Yeah.
We do have a special handshake in case you're wondering.
Oh, can you do it through the screen?
I mean, not really.
Okay.
It has to be in person.
With hugs. And
it is. Of course it does. So you know me well enough. It has to have a hug in there. And so it does. But he is the pitching coach at Fishers High School. And, I mean, that's not the only thing he does, but he is the pitching coach at Fishers High School. How many years have you been there now?
This is year number 8.
Year number 8. So he got there before me,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty impressive.
Dad and I rode in together the same year, so.
Oh, that's right. You and Papa Burgundy. You remember H, right, Zappo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
He was on the show.
He's dad, but Heather's not mom. We got to remember that. She is
That's
young
right.
whippersnapper doing her thing. We will never forget that on this show because that's what we love, and it's great. So we've had a lot of basketball. We just started our baseball journey, but we've spent a lot of time. You have a strong personality, which I love and enjoy. Not afraid to say what's on your mind. And one of the things I love is when the old umpires are not doing what they're supposed to do. Tell me, how do you feel about umpires?
I mean, my views probably changed over the years under the tutelage of Matt Cherry, but we don't have the best relationship in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to them though, and
yeah, you got to make it seem like you're in good graces with them. Hopefully, you can get a call here or there, but
yeah, hopefully.
Not my favorite humans, but it's not an easy job. So
have you ever been?
Remind myself of that.
Have you ever been thrown out of a game?
Probably more times than I have fingers, but nobody's keeping track.
What is the thing?
Really, really, it was just one umpire that had my number, and it just happened every time I saw him. So
I mean, what's the one thing that perturbs you the most?
Not knowing the actual rules of the game. So balls and strikes are fine, but they try to throw the rule book at me, and it wasn't a good time. So
do you have
those were back in my days of coaching travel ball, and I haven't got thrown out of a game at Fisher. So 8 years in the running, man.
Oh, we're good then. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, but I mean, you're good at chirping. I love it. I mean, it's clean, but it's chirpy just to let them know, right? I mean, Zappa, you need that, right? I mean, you're doing that travel ball thing, so you probably can understand what he's talking about.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. The rule stuff it's brutal. You got to bury your head in the sand and just pretend. I mean, it's hard. I don't know how to.
I mean, I always go back to this because we'll talk about it a lot, in the fact of like the excuse that's made is we don't get the best. We get the ones who want to do it. And I'm like, can't you teach these people? Because we have umpire day. I mean, it's your favorite day, right, Huls? Can you describe what takes place?
Yeah, we do an umpire clinic. All of our pitchers throw bullpens that night and do some infield drills or whatever, working on whatever the umpires want to work on. But basically, they bring in new umpires that they're training to start being umpires and teaching them the positioning of calling balls and strikes. So it's a good night. It's one of the longest nights that we have during the season, but
it is an extremely long night. And it just reminds me that they are not – I mean, all we want is consistency, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
they had a great one last night. I didn't chirp one time last night.
You did not.
It was a good night.
Start to a new year. Turn a new leaf.
That's right.
You know, they've been practicing all off season, doing the video game stuff, doing the goggles. They got that right for the refs, umps.
I don't know. Do they?
Zappo, don't worry, it'll come. I promise you that.
All right, well, I got a new video game idea. If anybody wants to let me know, we'll produce a. And then what's cool about that is, if you've got a problem with an umpire, you can get the game and put on the goggles and see how difficult it is. It's not easy. All right.
I mean, it's.
I will say I did umpire at one point in my life, so it's not that I've never done it.
Yeah.
No, and I know that there's a lot of coaches that don't know the rules either. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when I was umpiring back in the day, and I felt decent about it. And, ball bounces and then hits the kid. And there are some rules at like Little League where, it doesn't count as a hit batter. But this time it counted. And these coaches they were literally thinking that in general, if the ball hits the ground first and it hits the player, then it's not, you don't get to take your base. And I was like, no, you guys are wrong. And they're like yelling at me as a 13, 14-year-old. And I said, forget this. Nope, you guys are wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. He's taking his base. And you just got these grown men just going crazy. I'm like, figure out the rules. You don't know the rules. And that's kind of the reverse of what we get, where we're looking at them. Like, figure out the rules. You don't know the rules.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's one of the tough things, playing in the best conference in the state and best sectional in the state. You still can't get the best umpires in the state. So it can be frustrating at times.
We're not going to stereotype. We're here to encourage and inspire. We love you, umpires and scouts. Wherever you're at.
Umpires and scouts. No,
we can love them though, can't we? Even if they're bad.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't
Absolutely.
have. Okay, that's the thing. It's no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot,
just do your job.
We have tons of beef within the coaching staff that comes at times, and yet we still love each other, and we get through it. I know we're talking about that when we had Danny on the show. But I got to be able to say it. So, Craig did play. He played in college. Injuries were not kind to him. And we were playing catch yesterday, and he's got a knuckleball. But that arm does not look like a good throw when you throw it, sir.
Doesn't feel like a good throw either.
It looks like it hurt. But you got to also understand about Halsey here is that he is, what are you, about 6'3", 2 something?
240.
240, and he is the runt of our coaching staff trio of myself, Danny Collier, and him. So Zappo,
I don't know what I would be.
You wouldn't be a part of the trio.
I was going to say it's one of the few times I feel small, but
I can coach your second baseman. I mean, geez.
And we do, and the whole coaching staff is not large, but our trio, which we drive to the all the games, the away games together, we are of good size. and going large.
So Taco Bell gets destroyed on going to away games. You guys can put away.
Depends on the night. Last night it was Ivanhouse or Ivanhoe's up by Taylor.
Oh, unbelievable place. Went there all the time.
Yeah.
Did you? I didn't even know about it. I mean,
well, I didn't go there with baseball. I went there with the track with my wife's group.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You wait in line forever when the weather gets good.
We didn't wait in line forever, but we did wait for our food forever.
So you're waiting for something.
Yes. But we did get, I got Jenny's shortbread. So let's take this. We're sitting there waiting for our food, and the strawberry shortcake looked really, really good. Right, Huls?
It did look good, and come to find out it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It tasted really good, too. But there's one of them that was for Jennifer, and it was sitting there, like, since we started ordering. And they put the ice cream on it and the whipped cream, and Jennifer never came.
So it's just melting.
Yeah, and Craig and I, Halsey and I, we ordered strawberry shortcake. And I saw them go make one, and they put it in the freezer to wait till our food order is ready. As we got like any good Hoosier, we got pork tenderloins. And while we're waiting, the manager comes out and takes the one for Jennifer. Is like, she must be gone. He scoops off the ice cream and whipped cream and puts it in the freezer. And guess what strawberry shortcake I got? Jennifer's. Right, Huls?
Hey, I offered to take it, but you said you wanted Jennifer's,
Hey,
so I let you have it.
I wasn't mad about it. I just was like, really? This is how we're running an organization? We got Jennifer sitting there. I mean, yeah.
You should have told them that's for Jen. Put it back.
We should just picked it up. We were like, can't you make it for us while we're doing it? Oh, man. But now, Halsey, tell me you've been doing it for a while. What is the most no, let's go this first. Tell the people about the first time we met.
Oh, man. Morning workouts. What? You joined staff, 6 years ago?
Yeah, what was it, 2019?
So morning workouts, I come in and I just do this on the side. So I had to go to work. So I'm usually only there for about an hour. I come in my work clothes. I sit down. Cherry's sitting on the bleachers, and come to find out Justin Masterson was sitting next to him. But I'm just sitting there talking. We're talking about what's going on baseball-wise, life. And I get up to leave, say bye to Masty, never even, introduced myself or anything. I just thought he was one of the teachers on staff or something. I left, and I was texting Cherry later, and I said, who was the guy sitting next to you? And he's like, that was Justin Masterson. I said, no, it wasn't. He's like, yeah, it was. So that was the first time we met. So I don't even know if it was really the first time we met. That was the first time I saw Justin at Fishers High School.
Right. Yeah, that was we were just talking. It was like we were good old buddies. And then you just left, and I had no clue who you were. And I'm pretty sure it's like, who's that? Oh, it's our pitching coach. I'm like, oh, it's great. Nice. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, the first year Masty was on staff, he was coming around a little bit, and he's like, I'll just come whenever I want, just volunteering whenever I have time. And we get ready to leave for Tennessee, which we're leaving for on Thursday. And Cherry looks at him and goes, I mean, do you want to go? He's like, I can go. All like, yeah. So we had to get Masty some pants that night, and next thing you know, he showed up to get on the bus, and I don't think he's left since then, which is awesome.
No, I have not. You're right. That was right. It was just a few days before. He's like, you want to go? And I was like, sure. Got me the clothes, and away we went on the old bus ride down to Tennessee, which is coming up soon, which is always a good time. Now, based off of that, so you got a great coaching resume. I mean, you won the state championship in 2018. You've had countless records set by your pitching staffs, and you got a lot of guys who've played in college and who are currently playing in pro baseball or have made it into pro baseball. Nobody in the big leagues yet, right? Is anybody?
Nope. Got a few minor leaguers. Nobody in the bigs yet.
Yeah, we got some decent prospects right now, but that's pretty impressive for going that. So with that resume, has it been like, how has it been when you have to coach with somebody that has a better playing resume than you?
Well, I mean,
like me.
It's pretty easy. I just ask you and
it's me now.
let you run it.
You just let him run it.
That's
That
my
is total
that's my
crap.
bullpen coach, and it's kind of funny because, you know, I have countless stories from warming up down in the bullpen with the guys, but once Masty came on staff, it just kind of turned into, oh, Masty's down. He's down in the bullpen. He's getting the pitchers ready to go. So
you can do more of the admin,
and it works. So we haven't changed it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Just use and abuse. Push him down to the pen. That's the way he likes it anyway down there.
Well, it's great. I met one of your friends one time, right?
Yeah.
And who did he say I was?
My bullpen coach.
I mean, because technically,
I met your bullpen coach tonight at FSA.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I mean, that is the joy of it all. Like, he has no clue that I played in the major leagues at that point in time whatsoever. And he's like, oh, you know Craig Huls?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know Craig Huls. I coach with Craig Huls. He's like, oh, I love Craig Huls. I'm like, oh, I do too. And then I'm like, oh, make sure you let him know that you met his bullpen coach. I started off with his assistant pitching coach because I like to be seen as that because I am. You know, Hulsey is my boss. He's my little boss. I mean, Cherry's my big boss, and Hulsey's my little boss. So I have to do what he says.
And then I just defer to you, so it all works out.
He can come in and be bad dad, and you come in and be nice mom. You got all the family.
No, but he's got tons of. You have tons of confidence. I mean, what I really enjoy about working with you is the fact that you have extreme bit of confidence of understanding, like, you believe, what you believe and what you know, but you're also very humble enough to listen, and that's kind of been one of the mottos I've had, where we can be, confident enough to go forth and do what we need to, but humble enough to be able to listen for the things that we don't. And I think that's been the really fun thing, and why I think we really work well together. I mean, I think we work well together. Don't you think we work well together?
Of course. No, it's a good relationship. It's really easy. The guys seem to respond. We have certain guys that respond better to one of us than compared to the other, and it just works out. So, and then you always have random ones that don't respond to either one of us, and we have to find a way to figure it out. I know.
Can you tell us the worst phrase ever in coaching to hear from a player?
I know.
Zappa, do you ever get anybody yet who says "I know" when you're trying to tell them something?
Yeah, we're at 13 and 11 for my boys, and we get a lot. Actually, where we get the most "I knows," unfortunately, is to my wife at home schooling them, that one doesn't go over well. But yes, on the baseball field, we do, and I think sometimes they want to answer something, but they don't actually know what we're looking for, and so it just comes out like. The art of just not saying anything is actually kind of difficult for little kids, but when you're at the age of a high schooler, they're saying "I know" because they actually believe they know more than you, right? I mean, you're not joking around. You actually think you know is what's coming out of their mouth. So that's tough. Who out of the relationship puts them to running polls? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean, technically, he's setting up all the things for the pitchers. I'm the catching coach anymore.
Massey wears plenty of different hats. So one day he's the bullpen coach, next day he's the catching coach, next day he's throwing BP, next day he's hitting phone goes. So.
Sounds right.
It is right, but we actually like to. I like to challenge him to make sure that he makes it tough on them.
Yeah, and
then he likes to make it tough, but I like to make sure that it is tough.
Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah, our pitchers love plyometrics, so we always make sure to get that in at least once a week. And Masty comes up with some good conditioning that he had when he was in pro ball and college and whatnot. So we usually come up with some good stuff for him.
So, this is leading into something as we go soon. We're not going there yet, but we'll get there. Even today, like there's a toughness about you, a grit. You got that dog in you, as we've been talking about with a lot of these guys who don't have dogs in them. But you got that dog in you. But even so, like even today, we had a pitcher who had some struggles last year, and he came out in our first game, and he did better at times, but still had a little bit of struggles. And he was frustrated about it, which is understandable, in the scheme of it. But I mean, you were able to talk to him. Like, how do you deal with someone like that? Like, what's your process?
I think it's really just getting to their mental mindset and starting there. I feel like that's something that individual's kind of struggled with, and kind of had some nerves going into last night based on how last year went. So just trying to work through those things and really just have a conversation without, really trying to bring up a specific certain situation, and just kind of talk through that, just the mental side. And if we can break that barrier, then we can start looking into other things.
Like mental side, what would you try and tell me? Huh?
Well,
if I'm struggling,
did you throw?
Well, I threw today, and BP, and I was yanking a few, going out there. I was a little frustrated about that.
He plays for the Yankees.
You must be one of them Yankees.
After I had the conversation with him, it led Masty and myself into a conversation in terms of, what's that mindset of nerves? Is it nerves? Is it fear? And then which can lead into anxiety, and just kind of led into that. And Masty brought up a great point. There's the emotions that you get from being nervous are the same that you get from being excited. So how do you want to handle the situation? Do you want to be nervous, or do you want to be excited?
Golly, you're so
I
smart.
think it's just figuring that out, and hopefully moving forward, we can get past the nerves and turn those nerves into excitement and get ready to get back out there.
Yeah, man, because we got those butterflies and all the things that come in. I mean, shoot, coming into this show, there's those hints of, the butterflies of the unknown. But I'm prepared. So like that's the whole idea and goal, and your body knows that something good is about, or something big is about to happen. And so when it's giving you those butterflies and sending you that nervousness that feels like, and the things are moving and the heart's beating and everything's kind of swelling up, it's like it's giving you your natural boost of adrenaline. Like it's saying, it's go time. Woo, here we go, baby. And yet I don't know if because we've scared or whatever, we've just taught people to be like, no, you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't feel that way. And it's like, but yes. I mean, honestly, once you stop feeling that way, something's wrong. Like something is wrong because you ain't getting that boost no more.
Or you just might not have that dog in you.
So when you talk about that, I'm thinking about
what you're talking about, the dog.
I'm thinking about that advice you hear about Stone Cold, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but Stone Cold, like go out there and be ice. You're on ice. Just stare him down. Like you're out there on the mound. It's mano-a-mano. The game's in a situation. You're not feeling it, and you've got to hide anxiety and just be ice. You see this in the bigs when guys just have the look. They just dial in or whatever. But as a kid, especially in high school, you're like actually nervous. Like there's girls watching. My team is on the line. I'm going to lose the game if I give up a homer. Like it's not just my career and what I do all day. Like this is like who I am and trying to be. So I kind of struggle with like, where do you differentiate? Like just hold it in, just bury it, be ice cold versus like using that emotion. Like how do you coach that through on a guy who's on the mound, like in a tough spot?
I mean, it really is kind of hard. I mean, I get what you're saying with it being high school, and But, we're fortunate enough that most all of our kids that I've had under or with me, I guess, there's been a few that haven't gone on to play college ball. But most of them have gone on to pitch at the collegiate level. And, we're always working towards something bigger. And, that's something that we talk about is, we're playing for something bigger. We're playing for our team and not ourselves. And I think if we can have that mindset when we go on the mound, even if I do have a rough outing, my team's got my back and we'll figure out a way to win this thing. And even if it's not with me on the bump, then we'll figure it out and next man up.
Yeah. I actually really like that. One of the things I kind of struggle with when high school programs focus, not specifically in baseball and all the sports, just focus so much on the winning the state, getting the state and winning the state, or if that's not an option, it's sectionals, and if that's not an option, it's your conference tournament. And there's nothing wrong with that mentality. Wonderful, you should be trying for that, but just having that, like, this isn't it and there's more, and playing for the next is huge to me. And I think that's actually helps kids not get injured. Honestly, we can go into that later, longer conversation, but I think it actually saves athletes in high school when we have that mentality.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you say it, like, obviously everybody's goal going into the season is to win a state title.
Sure.
The culture that Cherry's built at Fishers, we go into every year, and obviously that's our goal. But, we have all of our coaches conversations, like looking at our sectional, we got last year, I think we had 4 teams in the top 10 when the sectional kicked off. And this year preseason, 5 out of the 6 teams in our sectional are ranked in the top 25 in the state. So it's a dogfight just to get out of there.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'd say what also sets some things apart and continues really, I mean, big time. I'm not saying it wasn't there when you were there at first, but over the last 4 or 5 years when Danny Collier and I came in, is just I feel like everything we want and what Zapp you're talking about, whatnot, is modeled by our coaching staff. Like in the way that, I mean, we come together. I mean, would you agree? Would you describe it for the people?
Oh, absolutely. And, I think it was actually before I was on staff, but I got the shirt because when I started, Cherry just kind of loaded me up with some gear. But at one point, I don't know if it was before I started or after, but we had one of our team slogans that we have every year was brotherhood. And that's really what it comes down to. And I think that the model that our coaching staff has set is truly that. It's a brotherhood around all of us, and it's not just, the varsity coaches go do our thing and JV goes and does their thing and Silver goes and does their thing. Like, we're all one and we all work together for the same common goal.
That's some good stuff. Now, I mean, all this baseball stuff's been good. I want to cut to the chase and get to the second part of what the big question that I know everyone has been wondering is, what happened to the old Huls?
What?
Okay. What happened to the old Craig Huls?
I went under the tutelage of Matt Cherry, and, I was told to calm down a few times and just kind of figured out, my role on the staff.
So let's go this. For everyone who doesn't really know what I'm saying, there's a bit of it when I first came in. Like, Halsey's been great, from the get-go. Awesome guy. Of course, the intensity that comes, and, sometimes it could come out in other ways. But even that same respect, there was quite a bit of immaturity in the midst of it. Not that everyone else is the most mature in all the world. He's working, he was selling the weather or something like that, which is, pointless and whatever it was, but he's not there anymore. So it's great. He's actually doing real stuff now in construction, and it's great. But it was always from the get-go, we were seeing you were a single guy, at the time, whether you'd been dating or whatever, but But you meet this lady who is really nice lady, and we thought was way over your skis. And this lady happened to have a child, and we're like, does she know who Craig is? Who this Craig Holgeis is? And then we're like looking at you, going like, do you know like the situation? I mean, I know she is an amazing girl, but do you know what's going on right here? And so it didn't seem like it was supposed to work. Like it was like two oddities where, here's Halsey and she's got, a faith background, and that wasn't necessarily your background, and the things of all this that didn't seem like it would bring us together, and yet it brought you two together. And from that moment, it's been this just incredible journey of transformation in your life. And for most people, it's not like you were a horrible person, but it's just been amazing to see like your ability to soften in the right spots, and then to be loving, to be kind, all these different things. So that's where the question comes, like, what happened to the old Huls?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I went through college and everything. I grew up out in the sticks in rural Illinois. I got to give a small shout out, and I'll get back to it. Mom and Dad are, I'm pretty sure, listening, because I got a text from my dad when you brought up tenderloins, because my dad's on this big tenderloin hunt across the state of Illinois and Indiana and wherever he can drive to get the best tenderloin. So,
nice. Let's go.
Good times there. I get random texts from him about a tenderloin in Carmel or Fishers. Have you had this one? So, just kind of funny. But no, grew up there, super strong faith family, went to church every Sunday, came over here to Indy for college, and just never found a home in a church and living the college life, and just kind of wasn't part of my every week routine, which it should have been, but definitely have that background. And then I went through the dating years and all of that, and just kind of living life. And then had actually been dating a girl and broke up with her, ended up buying a boat, and the next day I'd end up going on a date with my now wife. So it's one of those things. I remember having a conversation with my mom, like, just never a situation that I thought I'd see myself in. And I had the conversation with Rachel as well, like, growing up, you don't envision that, but when the right person walks into your life, you got to make it work.
What a sweetheart.
It was the boat that got her. Come on.
Was that the boat you're trying to sell? Or
Yeah, that's the one for sale. So Zappa, if you need a boat, let me know, man.
Well, I got a woman, but hey, I got some single guys out there that might be interested if it's that lucky. That's a cool story. So, it's not necessarily that you're even disappointed that Justin says, where'd he go? You're living the best life that you can right now, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. So when I first met Rachel, Ava was, I believe, 6, about to turn 7. And we've adopted her now. I shouldn't say we. I've adopted her now. So she's got my last name, which was really cool. A special day for our family. And then we got 2 little ones. So little Aniston, who's my magnet to my legs whenever I get home, and she'll turn 3 in July, and then Tate Man's going to be 1 here in about a week. So super busy, but super exciting here in the Huls household.
Oh, absolutely. So how's it happen? Like you do all that, you meet this, beautiful girl, and she's got a young, awesome girl. Shout out to Ava. You're awesome. I was picking on her the other day when I stopped by for Tate's birthday party. But trying to get in your class too, I promise. I'm going to sub for one of them teachers. I'm trying to pick out a great day. But all that, like, so What have you noticed about yourself that's adjusted? Have you purposely tried to change the way you do things or adjust, or what have you seen in you?
I mean, I just think that, once you start living your life for something other than yourself, it changes. Once kids come into the picture, it's just completely different. And not to say that, I wouldn't have changed if Rachel didn't have Ava, but it's one of those things that once you have kids, there's really nothing more important. I mean, obviously relationship with Jesus Christ is huge, but man, you go about your day differently when you've got, little ones relying on every move that you make.
Yeah, that's the truth. Golly, man,
he's full of it tonight.
Oh,
Did you talk to Dad before you came on? Is what I want to know.
I didn't. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get a text or something about how that tenderloin was and if he needs to drive up to Taylor University.
Yep.
So
Let's do it.
No, but I mean, it's like, what's your, because it's really neat to see. And you have, I got to meet, I don't think I'd met your parents before. Maybe I had seen them before, but not really met them the other day, got to see them, some nice people. And just to know, you came from good stuff out in the country of Illinois. And yet, we know in marriage, it's real easy to think about yourself, even with kids, to try and find it, especially when, opinions aren't always the same and the way we should go about it. So like in father, like what's your goal as a father?
Provide the life that I had growing up for my kids.
And what would be the highlights of that? What you would think?
Be successful, be happy, follow Jesus Christ every day and, grow up, live a good life and have the kids of their own so I can have some grandkids one day.
So which kid is your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
I tuck them in.
No, they're all awesome in their own ways. Ava and I our bond continues to grow. There's some growing pains there with her. I mean, not being in the picture for the first handful of years of her life. So we continue to work through that. But I mean, she's just an awesome kid, fun to be around, and she's a big sports girl, so that makes it fun for Dad. And then you got Aniston, who just full go all the time. It's just fun, and she's got Daddy's sweet tooth. So anytime we go anywhere, she gets into my truck and goes, "Dad, truck smells like Mike and Ike's."
She just
because she knows that I have candy in my truck. But and then Tate's awesome, man. We had a big scare at the beginning, spent some time in the NICU, but dude's starting to walk and it's just fun, seeing the joy. I think it was when he was 5 or 6 months old when he started crawling to me when I'd walk in the door. It's just seeing the joy on the kid's face when you walk in the door is just something special.
Yeah. Now, how do you make sure, because you're in construction, you're doing some project management type stuff, and so you're out there phone calling people, making sure they do things they're supposed to, deliver stuff, and all, hearing the excuses and all that. So I'm sure there can be some frustrations that pop in. How do you make sure that when you get to the house that you're in a spot ready to be with the family?
I think it's tough. Some days are harder than others, depending on the stress level at work. But just take a few minutes. Typically on my ride home, I talk to my mom about every day. So talk to her for a little bit and just kind of vent if I need to. But if I'm not on the phone on my way home, there's no radio on. If it's nice out, windows down, and just kind of peace and quiet, a little bit of time to clear my mind. I don't have a super long drive. I mean, now I'm in the office most days, but if I'm in the office, it's like 5 minutes home, or if I'm out at a job site, it's like 15 minutes. So just kind of using that time to decompress and just kind of have some peace and quiet before I walk in the door. So
that's great. And so how do you keep up? Because again, you got 3 wonderful children that I really enjoy, and we had Aniston saying hi when you first got on the call. Say hi to Masty, and you were concerned that she may be sitting at the top of the stairs screaming, making a bunch of noise in order to come hang out with you.
Yeah. I mean, she's already made an appearance at one baseball practice, so
yes, she did.
I didn't know how the night was going to go, but Rachel's holding the fort down like she always does. So
yeah, because
I hear the little footsteps running around all over out there, but no screaming at the top of the stairs. So we've been doing good.
No, I still remember there's a point where you're like, "Hey, man, could I borrow some turfs? Because if I go back home, I'm not going to be able to leave without taking the little one with me." That's just so cool, man. Now, how do you continue? So 3 great kids. It's always easy to go to the kids. How do you continue to love on the wife in the process of all this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge at times, just, getting some time to ourselves. Masty and I laugh about it because I know Meryl's an early one to bed. Rachel is too. So, just trying to find some time, once the kids get down and the chaos kind of shuts down for the night, is good. But I mean, my in-laws live like 10 minutes away. So, they're over here helping with the kids, and my mom's driven over a couple of times to help out as well. But we found that it stinks paying for a babysitter when you got to, but it's definitely necessary for a marriage. So just doing everything we can to find one-on-one time, and it's even more challenging right now with baseball going on. But she's awesome, lets me do stuff that I love. So.
I mean, a good wife is hard to find, but when you got it, you don't want to lose it. Wouldn't you say, Zappo?
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of proverbs about that.
Oh, without a doubt. Hey, man, Hulsey, I mean, I just wanted to hear about you as a father, because I've just been impressed. I mean, we have on our staff, it's just a great group of individuals, that we come together, and just guys who continue to set examples for each other of what it looks like to be a great father and a great husband. And I've just been impressed with you over the years. Not that you weren't cool before, but just to see how you've grown in your role as a father, and even being able to be, kind and confident, with Ava when you're in sports and you're coaching them up and trying to challenge her to be where she wants to be, but also be that loving father in the midst of that, which I know that's it's a challenge for a lot of us as coaches.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. You try to learn from something from everybody every time. I had a great role model in my parents, still married, and then my in-laws, great marriage as well. And then, just the coaching staff in itself is special dads, special husbands. Mm. So it's just, there she is.
Yes.
And you talk about, wearing the dad hat, the coach hat, and, learning from H, like, they set that point, at this point, the coach hat has to come off. And I think learning those kind of things, and
talking to me, Ava Tate.
Yeah, talking about you guys.
Mm-hmm. That we did.
So it's special, forming the bonds with all of our kids. But anything that I can take away from each and every one of the guys on the coaching staff, because like Masty said, they're special people. Mm.
It sounds like maybe some of the success of the Fishers baseball program is that role modeling down where it's just organic. I mean, I can just sense that you don't have to coach that stuff. It's just kind of through osmosis. She's going to start calling spam calls. You watch.
Well, the funny thing about it is she loves to take Dad's phone and do flashcards.
Oh.
and there's the guided access. So I found out, I'll just lock her in the app. Well, if an ad pops up, you can text, like if you click on the button to send that ad. So one night she sent my dad like 7 different game ads, and he's like, why are you sending me these?
Tenderloins, Dad. For all those tenderloin texts you've been sending me, this is payback.
I think it's Indiana's like state food. So, I mean, it's.
Yes, it is, without a doubt. Well, Anderson, I know she can't even hear us because you got your earbuds in, but we are talking. She sees my mouth moving, but she cannot.
Can you say hi, Masty? You gonna be shy?
She was shy the other day when I was there. A little afraid. I mean, she came to try and tickle me, but still a little afraid of what was going on. But we love children. We love individuals who are working to try and be great fathers and great husbands. Thank you for sharing some of your insights of just the way that you've just been killing it over the last, what has it been, 4 years? I guess we can't end it without talking about loved your wedding. I mean, it was awesome wedding, and it was great. Zappo, if you know me, there was great dancing.
Yes. Did you tear some pants?
I don't think I tore pants at that one, but I did wear a light purple shirt. But it did not stay light purple, did it?
No, it went from a nice light purple to about as dark purple as you can imagine.
Oh, man, I was dripping. But somebody's got to be out there in order to make sure the dance floor is going good. And by all means, I was out there.
Jamaica. That's all you got to say.
That's it.
He's got the beat.
No, for sure. You know what?
No touch.
I think this has been wonderful. I mean, I could talk to you forever because I do. I talk to you just about every single day, as this comes. But in the scheme of it all, on behalf of Matthew Zappasodi, Justin Masterson, Mr. Craig Huls, his beautiful family, Rachel Aniston, Tate, and Ava, we thanks show brought to you by PHARE Warrior, Wayfinders. Check it out. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I don't really care either because I'm trying to get rid of these subscribers. That's great ploy, right, Zappo? That's the way we're supposed to do it.
No, giveaway shirts, not giveaway subscribers.
Oh, yeah, we got to give away shirts, not subscribers. Either way, hopefully you were built up, uplifted. Halsey, appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Lina.
Yeah.
Blue all day.
Go San Diego State.
Oh, chunky.
Your guys' text that way. Hopefully, we won't have to play UConn if we get by Iowa State.
Yes. Thanks so much.